Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan. Here we're looking at a Nissan Atlas fire truck. This is a real Japanese fire truck that has been used for 25 years until now, where it's been bought from auction by us to send it to the USA. It's a 2.7 liter diesel engine. This is the TD27, kind of a famous engine by Nissan because they are known to be extremely reliable. This one has just 10,000 kilometers on it, which is very similar to many of these fire trucks that you can get from Japanese auctions because they're only really used by the firefighters when they're going to fight fires, which is not as often as taking a regular car and going to work with it or whatnot. And so these are always low mileage, well maintained, very cool, useful. In this case, it's a dual cab to keep your firefighter buddies going to the fire. And this is my first time looking at an Atlas version of this, so for me it's pretty fun too. Okay, usually these fire trucks are Toyota Hiaces, and I think the Hiaces are a lot more expensive than the Atlas, but they are very similar in other respects. And one comment I want to make about the engine, this doesn't have a timing belt. The TD27 just uses gear between the cam, because it's an overhead valve engine, between the crankshaft and the camshafts, so, or the single camshaft in this case. And so no timing belt to change. Very cool. So it's a 1991 Nissan fire truck 4-door, auction grade R, interior B. Okay, the engine is a TD27. It's 4-wheel drive with selectable 4-wheel drive, so you can do rear-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. And there's a transfer case, and so there's low gear ratios as well if you're going to be doing climbing. You get great approach and departure angles, but the tires are not that big. And strangely, in this case, you might have troubles getting tires because it's a 15.5-inch wheel, so maybe change those wheels. And you can see there the manual 4-wheel drive locking hub and your own little cool window down here. Love it. Okay, so the report, this one has AC and power steering. Not all the fire trucks have both of those. It's rare to find one with AC. Unfortunately, in this case, it doesn't work. And then power steering is on most of them, but not all of them. For example, the Land Cruiser fire trucks usually don't have power steering. Okay, the body is generally pretty good. Fire trucks tend to have like scuffs and chips of the paint in the back because, you know, when they're saving people, they're not that worried about nicking the fire truck. Anyway, here's the report. It says the first member has repair marks because it has been in an accident. The first member is, let me just show you underneath here. So it's a frame member. The first member is this one here, right at the front. Okay. Now take a look here. You can see some weld of a plate there. Okay. It has been painted underneath. Now I didn't see any troubles with it. There was that welded in plate section. Anyways, the cab floor is dented. Front panel dented. Frame painted. And repair. There's a word I can't read. I'm sorry. If you're the buyer of this, we have a proper translation. Please refer to that. I'm not good enough at Japanese for all of this. Single tire instead of dual tires at the rear, like dualies. Exterior has various scratches, dents, and rust. Windshield rock chip. The floor of the back section, which I'll show you in a sec, has wear, and I'll get through this as quickly as I can. Company sign marks on it, winter tires, interior dirty, seat dirty and wear. Headliner dirty and comes down. It's actually not that bad. Steering wheel grip wear. Alright, so let's do a once around here. I'll show you the back section. I quite like the layout of this one, and I really dig the old school looks of it. This looks very similar front end wise to the Free Candy van, which if you guys didn't, maybe some of you new guys don't know about this. We've had this for years. It's a tool shed at the moment, but we have a Nissan Caravan in the back there and has a very similar front end with the 4 round headlights, and I totally dig it. Here's a look at the side. So you have a pickup truck style vehicle together with the 4 doors in it. You can fit, 6 people I think you have seatbelts for. This one has a good condition canvas with a skeleton inside, like a skeleton frame. And it doesn't have flip down sides anymore, even though it has partial hardware for it. It does have a flip down tailgate. And so sides, I'll just give you a quick little look here, have a diamond plating cap on them, and then had provisions for the hoses that you would have there, and some other tools on the other side. The canvas is a little bit narrow, which to me looks a little bit weird, but I guess looks were of less concern to the people building these than functionality. And so this one would be known as a pump truck, and it has a diesel water pump. And what they would do is they would use these trucks to pick up water from like a pond or something nearby to pump it out onto the fire. And then the fire hydrants here in Japan, I don't believe that they're pressurized in the same way as they are in other countries, and so this would be used to increase the pressure. Cameras there making weird colors. There you go. Okay, so it says Nissan on the front, which makes people know it's a Nissan. It says Atlas here, it's not very easy to see. 150. Has vents here for the interior, which are pretty cool. If this was my truck, I'd probably paint these black, because I think that would look really awesome. Mirrors for good visibility. This circular one here, it's convex like that to give you a good view of the front. So it's very easy to park these like centimeters away from a wall without touching anything, because you have good visibility there, and your face is basically right there. And it's a full flat front, so cool. Flat sides. Now the paint here is kind of bad because well, first off, it's filthy dirty, so sorry about that. There's paint wave on it because it has been repainted with like a spray paint. A lot of these fire trucks are kind of like this because they have a company sign mark on here that they scratch off or something. Okay. Okay, so the back zippers are full metal zippers. They work fine without getting caught. I tried them all the way up and down. You can roll this up, and it has provisions for attachments there. You just loop this piece here around onto this piece here to have it fully up and drivable like that, so you're not flapping in the wind, because nobody likes that. And you'll destroy a really cool cover. Open this up and show you. So there's the tailgate that you can drop down if you want, and you have full use of the insides of these bed sides, as you can see there. There's no tire humps. Most Japanese trucks don't have tire humps because they run a smaller tire and then a full flat bed that's up higher. But because the tires are smaller in a Japanese truck, the bed is actually not up that high. This is only maybe 65 centimeters from the ground. Okay, well, it comes with the sirens and loudspeakers. You can install those if you want. It does come with the fittings that you need for this. I made another video and mentioned that it didn't have them. They're actually in the back seat. And a cool rack there with a light, and all very good condition inside here. And so this could be a really cool truck. For example, a hunting truck, because you could put racks in here. You could do anything. Great. And it's 4-wheel drive and low gear ratios and diesel. It's all the things. My truck has all the things. So, doors in the back, same as the highest, and I'm not sure why they do this, but they don't open that wide. A little bit weird. And then they are white on the inside. That's natural on all these fire trucks that are repainted to red. These are mats that don't deserve to be here. They're from a Mirage, I guess. Okay. This section here is peeling a bit. The seat is a little bit extra weird. This is actually just loose in here, and that's by design. It locks itself in, but then you can remove this seat completely if you want, or you can open it up for storage bins in here, and you have 3 separate bins. This seat on the Atlas, and I don't have to be mentioning too much about the Atlas because there aren't that many of these, especially compared to high aces, but the Atlas has 2 things that I don't like that much. This seat isn't as comfortable. It's not as strong as the high ace seat. And then secondly, the high ace one, when you lift this up, it actually can attach between here and there, completely flat, and it has no structure underneath. And so you have a full flat loading area here, so that you can either use it for storage, or you could even sleep in it if you are okay curling up your legs. And the seat doesn't feel so loose like that, which is a little bit weird. It does clip on down here though, if you want. Headliner. Now the auction sheet said that it was loose. As you can see, it's not that bad. And then headliners are just a simple fabric. It would be really easy to replace this do-it-yourself style. You can see some of the looseness up there. Okay, so this one has some of the coolest gauges that I've seen. Take a look. So here's the steering wheel. Whoops, I pressed the display button. How do I do this? There we go. Look at that. Giant speedometer. And then cool little set of lights there on the side. I love it. It's old school, 80s-ish. Even though this is a 90s vehicle, it's very much 80s style. 5-speed manual. This is your selectable gear lever for 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, and low gear ratios. Looks like the intercom system has been taken out, I guess to put into your next truck. Okay, easy access here. There's a little bit of wear on the paint here and down here from people entering and exiting. Driver's seat is in good condition. Most of these fire trucks have been smoked in, which I find is a little bit weird because I think, especially here in Japan, many house fires probably come from cigarettes. They should be terrified of going anywhere near them, but I guess not. Power steering is nice, thin steering wheel is cool, and the fact that it's slanted so much makes you feel really cool, like a bus driver. It's really fun to drive these around. I've got this customer who's mostly a friend of mine now, and he takes his to the elementary school to let the kids play in it. It's really cool. Okay, I'm not sure how the AC works here. It looks like the AC only works when the fan is on low. You can see that. This is low and then has the AC mark, but then for high it's not AC? I'm not sure. I couldn't even get the AC to cycle itself on. You can usually hear a compressor turn on. 5-speed, a place for your things. Cup holders that equal spilled drinks, but luckily everything in here you can just power wash it off if you wanted. Floor mat here is from Honda, and it doesn't really fit in there properly. In fact, when the driver came in, this flap was on top of the gas pedal completely. I guess it's not called a gas pedal on a diesel, is it? The fuel pump pedal? Diesel pedal? Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Okay, so there we have it, fire truck. Fire truck style. Hope you enjoyed this. Of course, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much, and have a nice day.